Breaking news, my lovely, wonderful people. Exclusive, fresh controversies trails Natasha suspension as senators disown committee reports. Everyone is withdrawing because the matter is becoming serious. The judiciary system is getting involved. That's courts, and it's not just courts that you can just ignore because the North is standing right behind her. A lot has gone on recently with the Senate since Godwin Akpabio became Senate president. Some says he has, suspended some of his fellow senators, and they said that is not right. He's not supposed to do that. However, Natasha's own comes with a twist because she has also raised complaint of sexual harassment. So that's what makes it another ball game, a different ball game altogether. The North has spoken, and the court has also, written to the Senate president, who is now, in a jail threat because there is, the possibility of possible, jail term for him if he does not obey court order. So whether you like it or not, senators now are beginning to withdraw from the matter. They are beginning to disown what is going on. Say, guy, we don't want to get involved in all of this. Please don't forget to give us a thumbs up, like us, share, subscribe. Let's get all the details. Exclusive. Fresh controversies trail Natasha's suspension as senators disown committee reports. Court have said, don't do anything until this matter is resolved. However, the Senate has gone on to suspend her. So there's much more, okay? The controversies surrounding the suspension of the Kogi Central Senator Natasha has deepened with allegations that the signature attached to the Senate Committee on Ethic, Privileges and Public Petition reports were not for an endorsement of the suspension, but rather attendance reports. The Senate of Nigeria, the senators are disowning that they did not suspend her. They don't know where the suspension matter is coming from. That the endorsement on the reports was just marking of attendance. See, voila. They just they use the body, they twist the matter, say na left, na right, because say people if get court case, they're not going to think and too much, say, no worry, it go fade away. But the North is against the Senate president. You get me now? Because they see largely that is supporting Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu, and most of them are not happy with the likes of El-Rufai leaving, APC, and there's a lot of controversy. So you can begin to piece it together like a puzzle. Let's continue. This leads to confusion at a closed-door meeting, as some senators reportedly claim their signature was misrepresented to give impression of unanimous support for suspension. We never unanimously suspended her. We are not part of it. Whatever we signed to was signature for attendance of meeting. On 5th of March, members of the Senate Committee on Ethics convened an investigation. The seat arrangement disputed between Ms. Natasha and the Senate President Godwin Akpabio on that day. Senators who attended the committee sitting signed the attendance register, while some others abstained. Based on the Senate rules, all senators can attend committee meeting, whether or not they are members of such a committee. Also, all the senators who attended the committee meeting can sign the attendance register. That is what the senators are saying, as court is going to hold them in contempt of being part of those who endorse her suspension. Now, the senators are saying we did not endorse or sign for her and agreed with Godwin Akpabio that she should be suspended. On March the 6th, when the Ethics Committee chairman, Nidum, presented his report on the floor, the attendance sheet signatures were included, creating impression that all signatories has endorsed the committee recommendation for a suspension. One of the key recommendations on the report was to probe Ms. Natasha for identifying herself as a senator, both locally and internationally, for her 6 months before would be on, for her 6 months, she's still on suspension. Some senators who signed the attendance registers have now reportedly distanced themselves from the report with the argument that they were not allowed to review the final draft before it was presented on the floor of the Senate. A senator who attended the meeting where all matters was discussed but requested not to be named told Prime Times that the proper proceedings should have been for the committee members to examine the approved report before its presentation. However, members were unaware of its content until it was publicly read on the Senate floor. So we are not part of it. It was without our complete knowledge. On the 6th of March, the Senate voted to suspend Mrs. Natasha for 6 months following Ethics Committee recommendation. This was now the list that was presented. We did not give a signature for her to be suspended. The decision was based on the Ethics Committee report, which indicted her for allegedly misconduct during a preliminary section on 20th February and her refusal to adhere to chairman's sitting arrangements. The Senate also imposed several penalties on her, including withdrawing all her security aids and the closure of her office within the National Assembly. All Senate properties in her possession will be handed over to the clerk of the National Assembly at the same time. She was also prohibited from entering the National Assembly premises during the suspension period. Her salaries and allowance were also suspended for the duration of the 6 months that was imposed on her, just as she was banned from representing herself as a senator, both locally and internationally. However, the Senate left a door open for the suspension to be lifted off Ms. Natasha, a written apology, which the leadership may consider before full 6 months period expires. On Tuesday, Mrs. Natasha took her case of internal preliminary union seeking international intervention in her suspension from the Senate. She added delegates at the IPC meeting held at the United Nations headquarters in New York, during which she also raised allegations of sexual harassment against Mr. Godwin Akpabio. The Kogi senator described herself as suspension from Senate as unlawful and deliberate attempt to silence her from speaking against alleged misconduct in the Nigerian upper legislative chamber. The U.S. currently, after the meeting of the United Nations in New York, are now calling to look into this matter. So the matter tirapa now be serious. It does serious. So leave us a comment. Let's hear your thoughts. Don't forget to like us, share, subscribe. God bless. Bye for now.